I was just like, God, it's too early to have to stretch for things. Okay, hello, welcome to the stream. Sunday morning, super early Sunday morning. So no intro or anything. We're just gonna get right to it for a little bit here. Short little thing. Yesterday, Saturday, I was up early. I was woken up early by roof repair people at my complex. So I went on a morning adventure, and then outside, and that took a lot of energy out of me. And then I had to get ready because I hung out with work coworkers, work friends, you could say, for a good portion of the day, and that took a lot of energy out of me. So then by the time I got home, around like 6ish, oof, I was out of energy. So I ate, I did some stuff, and then it was like around 8 or 9 where I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to sleep for like 20, or not 24, 12 hours. And I did pretty much that. I think I've slept maybe closer to like 11 or something, but that was like the longest time I've slept in fucking forever. So obviously no streams happened because I was busy doing things. I was outside and then asleep. So instead, I'm here now. I do have things to do today, but I'm up early enough that I can do a little stream this morning, and I think I should be able to be on back on like later tonight as well with something. Can't 100% commit to that, but at the very least, I'm getting something done now. So if I can't make it back on later tonight, then I did do a stream sometime this weekend, you know? Magic orbs. Okay, so game-wise, here we are, part 21, I want to say, of the series here for Nier Replicant. It took 20 parts and we finished the first playthrough. As I said, there's more to do. I'm aware there are more endings and routes and things. The only thing I don't know is what they actually are or what they entail. So, we're going to find out here. I assume from what I've been told that this is now, we're officially entering Route B. Sorry if I like I said, I just woke up. So if I sound gross, that's why. Literally rolled out of bed and then rolled out of bed, took a shit, and then like came on here because I'm going to do everything else I do in the morning after I play this for a bit. So I don't know. I don't know what this entails. And I assume I just click continue on the save slot, right? I mean, what else would it be? What else would I do? Am I a little afraid? Probably. What could it be? What could it be? The mysterious, what could it be? God, I can't get my seat right. Also, for the past 2 days, my PC updated.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine,
Whoa, we're here?
I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway.
We're here? Huh? I remember this moment. I was also told don't skip any cutscenes or anything. Resist any, which I probably wouldn't have done anyway. Oh, Kaine's dreams. Oh, this is new. This feels new. Oh shit, I gotta read. The sound of rain filled the village. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I was told just, not like I would be skipping cutscenes for any reason, but I was told, like, do not presume that you can skip cutscenes, is what I was told. I didn't think I'd have to read. Let me get my throat ready. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. Oh, I know what I was going to say. My PC updated like 2 days ago and threw everything into turmoil. And I mean like audio settings for stuff. I think it was before the Death Comes True stream. So I think that's why there was some weirdness with the audio with Death Come True a bit on like what I was seeing and what was actually being produced as audio. But audio settings went up the wazoo. Fucking some like power saving functions got fucked up with. And so that's been a headache that I had to figure out what the hell was happening the past like 24 hours. I really wish that if an update came through on PC with Windows and stuff, that it wouldn't just decide to fuck over all your settings. I don't understand why it feels the need to do that. Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing, Windows? Excuse me. Wanderer reached the vein, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. Child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. Okay. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on. Child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. Jesus. Force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the Eyrie. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. We get Kaine backstory? Kaine, my favorite? Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shape of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. Totally, could have accepted like a cutscene of this happening, but you know what? We'll read. Just a visual thing would be, I'd like that. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Just a second. Is it coming? Oh, it's... oh, excuse me, there it is. Jesus. God, I was afraid it wasn't coming out. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of the children, many encouraged it openly. Great. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt. Oh, look, little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless, a failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The boy moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. Ew. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. Oh, no. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane, continued to point east as if supremely confident about the future I had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak, chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak. Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. This is music. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. Oh, is this like the origins of Kaine cursing like a sailor? The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Wait, before he could crash and gently touch the hand, she ground her palm into the wound. Okay. Quit whining. No one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch. A big one. That thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. That's a good line. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you! Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Ha! Look at that fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting out the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine. She turned away. Oh, it's her grandma. Her grandma! Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt to cross him. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know her grandmother. But when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence. And the first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass. Don't be an ass. Kind of drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't... Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out, placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable. The beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one. Yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath, as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them when I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. His old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. As long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers. The two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough, even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taking away on the breeze. Kaine's dreams, daily life. More of this. Okay. If I didn't mention it earlier, this morning stream not going to be able to be super long or anything. So just putting that out there. Maybe I'll just be reading for like an hour and a half here. Who knows? Okay. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. Grandma! Called Kaine. That you, Kaine? Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake. She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough to her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something. The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shades have been restless lately. Don't want you running into one of them bastards. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the most difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the Eyrie. I guess that's where that little little hut house thing is. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Connie enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Connie turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life. She had discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood. When she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Connie swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it. Crap. She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging. Blisters soon began to form on her small, pink hands. This is tough, and my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Connie redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. Better practice if you... Grandma suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Connie dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Connie steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Connie didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Connie away. Stop that! Just stop! She cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Connie desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life. It seemed the bill was finally coming due. Time when her grandmother watched over Connie was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, positions would be reversed. The next morning, Connie came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick. You need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Connie gently pushed her down. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, goddammit. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Connie strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Connie moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by Shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. She encountered neither tormentors nor shades. Connie finally found herself at the entrance to the village. A few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before sinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Connie took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling everyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Connie's presence. Hey lady, said Connie with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me, they seemed to say, but Connie saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Connie repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Connie cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary. The new emotion that had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand because his gang of followers were nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force. Connie happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Ha! Barked Demo. Oh, bitch, finally keel over. Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head. But before he could let fly come back, or worse, a punch, Apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scene that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Scent that was exotic. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. Let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly and looked down at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. Crowns. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village. Word travels quickly. Between you and me, not sure which of them to believe. I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali. I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Kali? Thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, she said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless. With enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. Kaine returned home. She found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow, turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. Portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. Horse shit, said her grandmother, throwing back the sheets from her bed. Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help me with dinner. Kaine would not relent. In the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. Thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, knowing the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter, truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the old woman. Take this down when they roll me on my shroud. She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. It makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness. It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kaine's dream, separation. Another one. Another one. Alright, I thought I was hearing something outside, but I think I'm going crazy. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object in her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, said Kaine. I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah? That's terrible, all right. Why, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was going to check out the kelman trees and see if they were ripe. Thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? When the hell for? Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. Goddamn girl, if a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. You can worry about some other... Grandma? No. If I don't go to the kelman trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that. Confused expression paced around the old woman's face. For a moment, she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately, it seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, instead of walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. Flowers' petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness. Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. You're going to be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls, and more talk about how beautiful you become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman. There ain't another like you in the world. In all the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, it's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? I learned it from you, Mom. Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma, yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it. What the hell? The woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Oh no. Kaine thought the look on her grandma's face was the most heartbreaking thing she'd ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. No, won't have you stay here and keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. When you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes and kissed her grandmother on the forehead, made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself. But in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow. She only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. No. Oh gods, no. Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up, as if trying to touch the sky itself. Jesus. Grandma? Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she kept to her feet and continued running, unmindful of blood spilled from her wounded hands and knees. She got closer and closer. Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt. Her worst suspicions confirmed. Smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending a small whirlwind spinning around the yard. So it's the one that we had fought then in the actual game. For a moment, the creature retreated into shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. "All right, you bastard," she thought as she screamed, echoed off the high cliffs around her. "It's you or me. Let's go." Shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest and began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flame, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma?" At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. "She's alive," thought Kaine. "Alive!" Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard towards the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, Shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air, first smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the Shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach. She might as well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. "Grandma, hold on. Just a little longer." Grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only one of the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The Shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. "Bastard. Laughing at us?" She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion. There would be no doubt the Shade was taking joy in their suffering. "Yeah, I see your plan." Shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. "I'm gonna kill this bastard." Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling the small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt at the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back!" she screamed. "Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. Shade panted laughter again, then raised his tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kanye never had a chance. Tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing to the burning wreckage of the home. She lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds. A small, weak voice spoke up. Kanye? Kanye's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out of her through the smoke. Grandma? Kanye, you gotta run. You can't best this one. Kanye grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on, we have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kanye's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no! No! I said run, goddammit. You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's claw's foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Oof. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible, putrid smell assaulted Kanye's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kanye blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kanye's mind, one after the other, faster and faster until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kanye screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kanye's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kanye seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade took Kanye off like a fly, or shook Kanye off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed throughout her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kanye's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all but faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. 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 Kill it now. As the spark that was Kanye slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer. Whoa. Oh! And she's back.
The beast approaches. Oh, I know.
Here we go. Now we're back to familiar territory. Oh, I actually have to play. Oh.
How did it even survive these past 5 years?
Not gonna let this happen again.
I gotta readjust audio now, don't I? Go like that.
It dies today.
This sword cuts lighter. It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
Hiya! Hiya! Strangled to death. Kane's dreams encounter. Oh, more. Oh, just a very brief glance of something other than reading there. Okay. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kane tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. It's gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought of the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. I want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop, no, don't hurt that picture. Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture and into the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha! I look like that? Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me, save me! Ka-ha-ha-ha. Kaine finally resorted to shouting at the voice in her mind. Don't make wishes, they don't come true for me. I'm a curse, a freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Wah, ha, ha, ha. Oh God, you are the best. Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. Substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain as it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain. The newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up? Ready to die? So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused, licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats. tear out the throats and bathe in the blood just like before. In response, kind of shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? Slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kanye was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Oh, God. Now, Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. Black lump began to protrude from Kanye's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. Slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face. She managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she regained her voice. Stop. Black ooze hesitated as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body. Down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. What the hell, Sunshine? Screamed the voice. We had a deal. Thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. Brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. She opened her eyes again. They burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I had to kill it before I die. Kind of glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. Pattern of the shade burned itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are going to be good friends now. Connie stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and began infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm into her right, Connie took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. Hate's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and... Shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just sit up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? But those buddy of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kind of grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kind of screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Ha, ha, ha. Stupid idiot girl. You're possessed now, Sunshine. There ain't no going back. Voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possess? Whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me? Got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, what'll they get a load of you now? Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. This guy seems smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. Oh, this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. A very powerful creature, Sunshine. Now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? Can make it happen. Little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What? You think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, power of the shade coursing through her. Smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind. She enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? Could have some good old times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody parts if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Ha 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 ha! Screamed the voice. Look at you go. Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyran? And if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out on this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade. I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyran. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, and waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels perfectly normal, she thought. Feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I'm not a shade. I'm Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it on her hair, and slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry, but I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed. Corrupted. A freak. At this time I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the area rose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now inflicted her world.
Alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. Grandma. Kaine, you gotta live. You gotta come back to us.
I am alive. Ah! Moonhead.
Oh, hey. Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you? You still recognize me? Of course. I knew you right away. Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Shit. That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
Yeah, it is.
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all.
Goddamn Popola and not Popola.
Are you kidding me? You can't be serious.
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it.
It's okay.
Kind of has a slightly different vibe and feel to it now that we know, like, from towards the ending of Route A, or whatever you want to call it, like who Devil and Popola kind of are.
We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
Oh, hey. What's up?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me.
Look at me. I'm a skelly boy.
As long as
I
you're
probably
still
made
with
that
us,
same
I
joke.
can deal with it.
last time we saw this.
Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
Fucking Popola, not Popola.
What is the matter?
Did I finish this already? I technically finished like one playthrough. This game has multiple playthroughs. This game has multiple endings, multiple routes. So I'm in like a different route. I saw like the first ending.
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
We should turn in.
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devila.
Damn. For the first time in my life, I hated
For the
that
first time in
person.
my life, I doubted Popola.
Oh, but you didn't hate Popola?
Those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades.
Dots.
Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Alright. I'm curious if this route is just a bunch of reading and seeing scenes again. Now with the perspective we had from the ending of the last route. I'd be curious what's contained here.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that...
Like I don't even think I remember this being a thing in the previous route.
Stare at the flames forever.
So I assume we're just maybe gonna see extra like scenes, maybe?
Catch your clothes on fire.
Obviously.
Oh yeah, that's the obviously. That's without a doubt the one rule of the stream is every game has to last multiple hundreds of hours, one way or the other. Whether it's I'm very slow at it or the game truly is just a 500-hour adventure. I'll always find a
I
way.
get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, unless I'm just misremembering massively. I don't remember this little scene.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm here for this.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Polished her?
Wait, you poured water on me?
She's like petrified as a rock, and he's like doing everything he can. He just like rubs her with a cloth, pours some water.
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
Hey, Emil. You're kind of strange.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on.
That's a
I
lie.
just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, She gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Oh yeah, super easy. You know, curing possession and curing Skelly body, super simple.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
Just awkwardly standing there. He's on box. He must be important. Oh wait, are we finally...
Sleep well?
Sure.
Oh, I might be officially in actually playing the game mode an hour into the route. So it was an hour of me just reading.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
So maybe this route is... I mean, we're here partly into like the second half of the game already is where we got put in. Maybe it is just seeing things, additional scenes maybe? Things from maybe a different perspective perhaps?
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
I'm curious. Do I have everything still? though? All the quests are completed, so they don't like take away any of the quests that I did. In fact, all the 100%. So even if I am like replaying the whole second of the half of the game, it should go by pretty quick because everything is done. Like I've done it all. I have all my weapons. I've got pretty much...
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I've not
Mom's
heard you
diary.
speak much about your mother.
She got the black scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
Take a look. It's in a book. Wait, what the hell's happening? What's going on? What's happening?
Say there. Can you not hear me?
What? Whoa? What?
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed.
Huh?
Come now. There's the door.
Right. Let's go.
Have I become old Nier? What the hell is happening? What the hell? No map. Proceed beyond this point and you'll be unable to save until the battle is over. Do you want to go through the door? Huh? I guess we're gonna find out what the hell this is. Just... What? What is this music? This is the world of the recycled vessel created to avoid the destruction of all. Huh? Ah! Bats! The music intensifies. Why does it look all weird? Where the fuck am I? I mean, I know where I am. Oh, this music. What is... Let me turn that up. fuck do I go? Oh. I'm like older man now. I am still quite powerful though. Just going downstairs. No big deal. Ow, fuck. I still have health items and stuff, right? Yeah. Had to check and make sure. Is this like a remix of a track that I've heard before? Can't tell. Oh! Oh, it's a boss. Oh, shit. I gotta get rid of these bats, honestly. Too many bats. Oh wait, did I knock them down already? Well, that was not hard. Obtained medicinal herb. I think I am quite powerful. I mean, it's not like I ever grinded for levels before, but the Black Scrawl, Lost Destiny, a white book, a false truth. Whoa! Now we're... God, these are weird visuals of this. Almost makes it hard to see the shades. Yeah, I'm here for this music. It almost looks as if I'm just looking at, like, someone smeared Vaseline on the screen. So I assume maybe I'm in some kind of like weird gauntlet of fights at different locations. Alright, that's a lot of balls. A lot of balls going. A lot of balls. Yeah, because then it's giving me herbs as I get through each stage, I guess. Soldiers of Salt calling forth white death. They are legion, those who plunge the world into darkness. We're in the library. Yeah, I'm here for just cakewalks of fights as I get to listen to these tracks. Oh my god, they disappear. Stop disappearing. They're disappearing as I get close to them. Fuck off. I'm in my giant ass sword. I mean, because the weapon is so heavy, like, using these rolls kind of, like, go into your attacks are, like, the best way to handle it. It's a good thing I can just kill them in one strike once I actually land the hit. And even kind of, like, rolling out of the animation, if that makes sense. Aha! Obtain the one-handed sword Fool's Embrace. More medicinal herbs. Fool's Embrace. The dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. Alright, I'm switching back to this. Time to go into ass-kicking mode. Don't adjust your TV screens. Ow, fuck. I can, like, barely see it through, like, the fucking filter. I'm gonna do some just big old punches to this guy. Oh my god, so much damage. I am just a fucking punching fool. Obtain more medicinal herbs. The black sickness stains the future. They journey to return to the soulless vessels. Oh, this is kind of new perspective. Or area, even. I don't remember this. And I also almost kind of forgot that I was a buff older man now. Because of how the filter was looking. We got some platforming sections now. Go down. Nope, I went in the sand. God damn it. Got some jumping puzzles. Make sure he dies. Can't go in here, can I? Almost fucked up that jump very bad. Okay, that's just fucking rude. That dude just fucking was ready to knock me into the sand. Come from up top. There we go. Whoa, 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 hey. Easy. Easy there now. Obtained the Kabuki outfit. Kabuki outfit? 1,000 experience points. More medicinal herbs. We got a sword, some weapon earlier? Ugh. Ugh. What is that? 2 doors. This door has already been completed. Oh. Okay, so this is, it's returning us back to, like, the first thing where this was the door we went through. And now there's a second door. I think I can... Look how cool I look. I'm definitely older. I'm thicker. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming there's an answer to what I just experienced.
My word.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
Huh? So I got a new weapon, right? Take a look at that. Fool's Embrace. Oh, well, weird this one is. A sword created after a man driven mad by revenge sealed away a cursed dragon. Damascus steel. I've got one of those. I was saved from the despair that shackled me. I was freed from the fate that cursed me. I was pacified from the indignation that plagued me. I was changed by the day I met you. That's a one-handed weapon, right? Is it better than my Phoenix Dagger? Let's take a look. No, not quite. This has... It's very heavy, less magic power, and honestly less attack and everything. Possibly with some level ups, maybe it becomes good. Guess we can always check. So I don't know what this thing is, but maybe we gotta go back in there at some point. Talk to Devil and Popola is the mission. I mean, it looks... Still have all the Phoenix weapons equipped, right? Yeah. Got my little farm area. Got my chickens. Yeah, I don't know what this playthrough is gonna be like. I'm curious. I mean, from what we've seen now, just this past like hour, I assume it is see different scenes. Maybe some different perspectives and stuff. Obviously there's that thing in the house that I just did that seems new. But, so maybe get these other... I mean, if that's another door, and if it's the same like the other door, then maybe this is how I get the final weapon collection percentages up. Like I got that Fool's whatever, Fool's... something something. I do probably need to part ways here. Oh, what's this? Oh? Oh, there's... I can listen to it. Well, now I mean, at the end of the final, or last playthrough, like... I hate Devil and Popola now, right? Me and my homies hate Devil and Popola. I do need to end the stream here for this morning. I told you it was going to be quick, but I wanted to check in with this game, and I'll just also get a little in since I wasn't on last night. I do think I'll be on later tonight for something. I don't know quite yet. It's either going to be Phoenix Wright or be chill and play, like, Crash. I don't know. We'll kind of go through the day and then see what I'm feeling like at the end. If I'm wanting to go more into Phoenix Wright, or just chill, but I think I should be on later tonight, so. Oh, before I actually part ways, I'll save. Yeah, I'm level 32. Let's go back to title screen. That's not what I meant to do. Can I go back to... Let's see that outfit I got. Is it the outfit I was just in during that fight thing? In that diary? Let us check. Let us check. Wardrobe. Kabuki. Do the others have it? Oh, they do. Oh. Magic orbs, a meal? This is all new. These are all new. Let's check it out. Oh my god, now we have a meal's head there on the loading screen. I'll have to see. Well, I have to go into... Oh, see, we have a meal at the loading things now. Look at that. I love it. I would have guessed, like, my orbs of, like, fire would be, like, a meal heads. Or, like... Whoa! It is not the outfit where I was fighting as, like, an... It's, like, completely... Oh, dude, it looks... Okay, so it's not my magic orbs. But it could be, like, enemy orbs, maybe? Now, I gotta see fucking the others in their Kabuki outfits, right? Like, I gotta... Gotta see, gotta see. Gotta see, gotta see. I think before talking to Devil and Popola, I'm gonna want to go to the weapon upgrade section and see what weapons I can upgrade as well. Whoa, look at us. We are so cool. Oh, I'm a fucking, you know me. I'm a fucking sucker for red and black color scheme. Okay, so Emil's got like a dope, like, is that a fish, like, fish poncho thing? A fish, let me see the back of it. Yeah, it's got like little flippers and stuff, and then you can see his skelly body. Look at just skelly body. I'm looking up his skirt. Skelly body. Look at them bones. Okay, now let's look at Kaine. Dude, this looks dope. The hair, actually pretty cool. And like I said, red, okay, me personally, I'm a very big sucker for red and black color schemes. Also, black and gold. And you combine all three, and I think this is very dope. Oh, and then my outfit's pretty dope too. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like the different hair. It's a nice like change of pace. My only thing about it is I'm very much like one of those default Andes that love like the default outfits to things when I'm playing through a game generally. What are my boots? What are these boots that I've got? They look like they've got like... They look like, goat, feet. I've got like hooves for feet, it looks like almost. Kinda looks fucking dope. I'm not even gonna lie. The meal fish looks very funny to me, and I look pretty dope. So, as I was saying, like, me just being a default person, like, I'm generally, like, very much just like, oh, I want to be the canon outfits and everything. But this is, I mean, if I'm doing a whole new playthrough, maybe it's, like, fine for me to, I mean, will they keep these on during, like, cutscenes and stuff, too? I don't know. I think I should keep it on for at least a little bit. Maybe another section of gameplay and see if I like them on like this. Because I think they're pretty fucking dope. I think we all look cool. I think the meal one is very funny to me. I think I look pretty cool. And then I think, like I said, Kaine, red, gold, black, is, I'm a sucker for that kind of color scheme in anything. So let's keep it on. Also do love the, honestly, I love the Emil loading screens and stuff. A little small change, but a change of pace nonetheless. Let's keep it on. Let's keep it on for a bit. We'll at least do one more section of this game at some point and see if I like it permanently. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Like I said, I'll be back on later tonight. Enjoy your Sunday. Have a great, relaxing Sunday. And I should be back later tonight with probably either Crash or Phoenix Wright. If we do Phoenix Wright, then it'll be the start of episode 3, I believe. So that's maybe exciting. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, enjoy your Sunday. Take it easy. See you later tonight. Stay safe. Stay well.